We're here at Define Tomorrow 2017 with our partners Liquidware. Got Peter von Oven here. Got the name right now. Obviously, Peter, we've known each other for a while.
Quite a while, yeah.
Written a few books together.
Yep.
Obviously, two. I think you're more responsible than me for a large amount of that. Looking at Liquidware then, looking at the type of work you guys do, there's a big trend that we're seeing at the moment, and it was one of the elements that was spoken about today in terms of Windows 10. Windows 10 now being the desktop operating system. How does Liquidware get involved in the process of taking a user from XP, 7, and getting them up towards it? What element are you involved with, and how do you take that?
That's a good question. We're actually involved in probably all of those elements, if I'm honest. So as we've spoken about in several books before, the key thing is understanding what you've got first, and then work out how you deal with it. So from a Liquidware perspective, that's where our Stratosphere product comes in. So we're looking at assessing the users, what you're doing, where you're doing it, the applications you're running, resource utilization, and building a picture of what your current environment looks like. So, where is your Windows 7 running? What's it running on, and the resources and applications that are being run on it? Because again, the idea of moving the operating system, the app's the most important thing there, and understanding what you've got in terms of applications, because when you do go to a new operating system, are these apps going to work? Aren't they going to work? How am I going to do that? So really understanding your user environment.
Don't just put a finger in the air and assume you know what the user's doing.
No, don't. So if you fail to prepare, then prepare to fail, basically. I think we've said it a number of times on a number of videos before. Is really understanding, right, and not just the tools as well. Go and actually physically talk to users, understand what they do and how they do it, get department champions on board to really understand how the business works and how a new workspace or a new Windows environment could actually help the Windows.
So once we have that understanding, what's the next stage then?
So the next step is, once we've done that, we can make a blueprint for what a design might look like. Now that might be 7 to 10, XP to 10, there's still a lot of XP out there right now. And then look at where you're going. Are you going to a VMware Horizon environment? Are you going to a cloud-hosted environment? Is it going to be a Windows 10 environment, or if Service 2016 is now quite popular in a hosted world? Is now I need to kind of get my users in a bit of an order. So, what's personal to you on your desktop? You've probably spent loads of time on your desktop with your hundreds of icons and your settings and everything. Do you want to go through that again?
No, probably not.
Do you ever want to go through that again? Even as an IT guy, do you want to have that issue of managing the profile? So, if we bring in our next product, Profile Unity, and look at actually abstracting a profile from the underlying OS, if you like. It's not virtualization per se, but taking that profile, and now I can manage that profile. So I can take you from 7 to 10. And even with Windows 10, as we know, there's lots of different versions of Windows 10. There's not just one. And in each one, they've possibly changed the way profiles are delivered. It's gone from reg keys to databases to both. How do I now pick up that Windows 7 profile and deliver it to Windows 10? So with Profile Unity, I can do that. I centralize it. And we do, if you like, the translation between getting the profile from an XP language into Windows 10.
And how about if you may need to go back at some point?
So that's the really cool thing. So if you're a large enterprise and you're looking at a Windows 10 migration, it's not going to happen overnight. You may have branch offices here that these guys have gone to 10, and you go to an office that doesn't have 10. You're like, how do I log on? Well, Profile Unity, that's cool. We can handle that. We can log on here. Your profile will be delivered a la Windows 7 style versus the Windows 10 when you go over there. So we manage that program. So once we have your profile under management, any further migrations of OS shouldn't be a problem, or won't be a problem for the user perspective. And we're not just talking about profiles, we're talking about all the user authored data. We can manage privilege elevations, so the users can do an element of installing bits and pieces that they need to do. We can inject the reg keys, we can change the look and feel. It's not just about roaming profiles.
It's about giving the user some control whilst being able to maintain security from an IT perspective.
Correct, yeah. So the user's used to their desktop, right? And they want to do certain things. We heard earlier on talking about how many users have admin rights. You probably have, I probably have, but we're, I don't know, probably the worst to have it, to be honest. Do you want a user to have that? But then again, if the user is allowed to install something, do you want to then have to run down there or remote onto their desktop, put the admin password in? Just let them do that, because you know it's the right application. And equally take stuff away, hide applications from them. How to manage, the new Office 365, for example. So then we add in an element of layering. So we all want to strive for this non-persistent VDI if we're going down the VDI route. How do I do that with applications? Well, with Profile Unity and FlexApp, I can layer in the applications. So now I have my image, I bring in my applications, and take out my applications, I go image, and I can do that on any machine.
So we're able to simplify it from an IT management perspective. User ends up with the complete, the desktop they want at the end of the day.
Basically, yeah, the desktop they want.
It looks the way they want it to, they've got the settings that they want, they've got the applications that they want, got mobility backwards and forwards.
And for the user that's great, but also IT want to be in control. It's like, do I want you to have that app in that way? So we can filter and create rules to say that, okay, you've logged in from a different subnet, you don't get that now. You've now logged in from here, you're on the corporate domain, yes, you can have it.
So context aware.
So context aware, which is really, really key. So you're giving the user that idea that, well, I've got everything I need to do, but giving IT still ultimate control, if you like. So we can deliver the applications, and then we can kind of combine the whole layering and profile piece by actually having the profile layered in. So we have a thing called profile disk, where now we're redirecting the profile onto a disk, and the best use case for that is Office 365. If you use Office 365, you log on, the OST file spends how long? I don't know how big your email box is.
Massive, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you never respond to my emails.
Indeed.
It spends ages indexing and caching. With a profile disk, it's already indexed and cached. I just insert it, and there it is, ready to go.
Okay. So you've got a whole suite of applications that are available that allow you to kind of simplify, secure the desktop from an IT administrator perspective, but deliver that true flexibility, the mobility that the user wants, and then kind of keep an eye on that health and stuff like that.
And it's not, when we talk about a user, there's obviously the standard user, the productive employee type user, but IT users as well. So making it simple for those guys to deploy it and manage it in the first place is also quite key, which is where our solutions really tick the box. But then I guess if we fast forward to almost the end of the project, how do you know you've done it right? How many people monitor their desktops? Well, particularly in a VDI world, or if you're doing some kind of remote desktop, I want to know that they're getting the best user experience possible. And in comes Stratosphere again. So it's almost like a sandwich, if you like. So we have the assessments, and looking at what's going on to begin. We do the migration piece, manage profile, and then we go back and monitor it. But the key thing with the Stratosphere solution is we look at the data that we collected previously and do a before and after. It's like the Weight Watchers before and after, right? I can see what it was before, and this is what it is now. So I can go to the CIO and go, hey, we've improved login times by, 15 seconds. We've got user experience down to whatever the metrics is, and you can set those metrics within the tool to say that the users are getting a great user experience. And I can diagnose, I can get inside the login, the whole login time, see what's happening in the logins, is it a group policy causing issue, and hopefully an element of predictability. So I haven't got users picking up the phone going, hey, this is broken. You've kind of seen the trend and analysis saying, well, hold on, where memory's getting tight, what's happened? Oh, we've deployed a new application. Has that been tested? What's that application doing? Let's drill down on that application. It's misbehaving, it's using up too much resource that we didn't plan on. But having those metrics to actually then go back and quantify stuff is so much easier. So you can almost take our product set as a whole kind of project lifecycle solution. We put a user under management and we take them on this journey of what are you doing now, let's move you to the new, and then now let's monitor. And that's particularly key if you go to a cloud-based environment where it's given just free reign, right? You're in the cloud. The easiest way to scale in a cloud environment is with your credit card. But what are the users doing in there? Let's put that element of control back in there. So, the key thing that I'll say about Liquidware is, it's about the Windows OS. I don't care where it runs. It could be physical, it could be virtual, it could be a hosted session, or it could be in the cloud somewhere. It's Windows that counts, right?
Fantastic. So it's great to hear the full set of tools, the kind of journey all the way from the beginning to the end. Thank you ever so much for joining us at Define Tomorrow. Look forward to speaking to you soon.
Good to see you again. Thanks, Barry.